Hi there, I'm Tom Polland, and this is the Turbo Business Report, where we give you one business breakthrough idea in less than 5 minutes. My guest today is Dr. Ivan Misner, beaming at us from somewhere around the world. Could be anywhere, because this man knows how to clock up the frequent flyer points. Good morning, Ivan from Australia, and where are you at the moment?
I'm actually back at my office in the Los Angeles area. I just got back from Poland, Sweden, and Denmark.
Wow. Okay. Now, so for those of you who don't know, who have been living in a cave somewhere, Ivan is the founder and chairman of BNI, Business Network International. It's the world's largest business networking organization. He founded it in 1985. The organization has almost 6,200 chapters throughout every populated continent in the world. Last year alone, BNI generated 7.1 million referrals, resulting in almost $3.3 billion of business for its members. Actually, brilliant that you're tracking that. He's a best-selling author, has written 16 books, still struggling to get number 2 out here, including his latest number 1 bestseller, Business Networking and Sex, bracket, not what you think, www.businessnetworkingandsex.com. Ivan's been called the father of modern networking by CNN and networking guru by Entrepreneur magazine. He's been featured in the LA Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, a whole bunch of others, countless TV shows, including CNN, BBC, Today Show, NBC. He's the founder of BNI Misner Charitable Foundation, recently named Humanitarian of the Year by the Red Cross. Oh, I'm exhausted reading this. I don't know how you live it. He's married and lives with his wife Elizabeth and their 3 children in Claremont, California. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in his spare time, get this, his spare time, right? He's also an amateur magician and black belt in karate. I'm glad we're on a video, not face-to-face. So, Ivan, the subject of your book is going to be the subject of this interview. We're going to have 5 minutes, and I will stop the recording when the buzzer goes off in 5 minutes. We'll give you some warning as we're counting down. And it looks like you're ready for the challenge. And so whether you're in full flight or mid-sentence, we will stop, and your time starts now. So the subject, business networking and sex, not what you think, bracket unfortunately perhaps, or PS. The rules are simple. I ask the questions, you answer them. Your time starts now. What's the basic idea behind the book?
Well, the book is about the difference between men and women and how they network. So it's really about gender, not about sex. That's why we say not what you think. And there's never been a study on networking and gender. We surveyed 12,000 people, my co-authors and I, from every populated continent in the world to get the results we did.
12,000. So would you say gender stereotypes are still alive and well in the business world?
Yeah, absolutely, alive and very well. One of the things that we learned from interviewing or surveying 12,000 people is a concept that we talk about in the book called the exception becomes the perception. And that's really about what you're referring to. Give you 2 examples. A lot of women complained that men were pigs, that they behaved badly at networking events, that they were hitting on them all the time. A lot of men complained that women dressed provocatively. Oh, all right, so no men actually complained, but they commented. The women dressed provocatively.
I was going to say, this sounds okay.
Yeah, so we looked at this and we said, really, do most men behave badly? No. It's this small percentage of men that do. Do most women dress provocatively? No. Most women dress completely professionally for networking events. So it's that small percentage of men who behave badly and the small percentage of women who dress provocatively that becomes the perception. Hence, the exception becomes the perception. And that's where stereotypes are alive and well. They're alive and well with those exceptions.
So you surveyed 12,000. Which of the genders sort of comes up as being better at networking, or are they the same?
No, it's actually pretty clear cut. Let's talk about a couple of the statistics from the book that address that very issue. Men, as a rule, out of the 12,000 men, men spent about 6.4 hours a week networking. Women spend 6.19 hours a week networking. So 6.4 to 6.2 roughly. Women were spending just a little bit less time networking than men. But here's the interesting statistic. Men generated 43.9% of their business from networking. Women generated 49.4% from networking. So let's review. women spent less time and generated a higher percentage of their business from networking than men did. So the short answer to your question is women did better.
So what are they doing differently that gives them different results?
One huge thing. We took a look at transactional networking versus relational networking. Transactional being, hi Tom, my name's Ivan, let's do business. You know, you get right to the point and do business immediately. And by the way, we call that, in the book, we call that premature solicitation.
Yeah, I can
you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that fast 3 times, it'll get you in trouble. So transactional versus relational. Women tended to be more relational. They would really go deep to build a relationship before they started doing business. And so women, we found that women did better than men. Now here's what's interesting. Take gender out of it. Forget about men, forget about women. Just look at who did best and whether they identified with being transactional or relational. Across the board, people who focused on being relational did better in generating business than those who focused on being transactional. So relational beat transactional. The problem is that, well, or the good thing for women, is that they tended to be more relational than men. Hence, I think that's the big difference.
Okay, but I presume men can learn from that. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, actually, if they'll actually sit down and read anything, which was one of the other problems that we had when we asked how did you learn to network. When we asked that, we found that women read more books, women took more seminars, women had mentors more. The only category out of 5 categories, the only category that men scored higher was, oh, I just do it on my own. I just figure it out myself. That's it. So, yeah, men can absolutely learn how to do it, but they got to actually sit down and be educated.
25 seconds left. Where do people get the book?
The book's available at Amazon.com. It's available at BNI.com. It's available as a Kindle as well as a print copy. People can get it anywhere. It's a fun read. My 2 co-authors and I do the survey data.
10 seconds.
And he said, she said. And take a look at it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you very much.